Business risks. One evening, two hawkers met at a restaurant.
It's so nice to meet up after such a long time. I wish we could meet up more often.
I know. But time is such a precious commodity.
This is my nephew Rohan. He plans to set up a new business.
Oh, that's really nice.
I want to set up a new business, uncle. My previous business sank faster than the Titanic.
What happened?
I set up a small stall a little away from a college selling textbooks. My business was roaring since all the students bought books from my stall. Unfortunately, the syllabus changed. I was not aware of it. And students started buying from my rival who was aware of the changes and had already stacked his shop with the books. I have invested so much of capital. I don't know what to do.
I told him to set up a vada pav stall. These young guns think we are uneducated fools.
Tell me, Rohan, when you set up this business, didn't you think of the risks involved?
Every business has risks. I just set aside a certain amount of cash to deal with it. I didn't think I would face any risk.
Rohan, risk is a very wide concept.
Every business organization involves some element of risk. Risk implies uncertainty of profits or danger of loss due to some unforeseen events in the future. An entrepreneur may encounter risks in every area or function of a business. For instance, in the field of production, risks may arise due to irregular supply of raw materials, breakdown of machinery, labor unrest, etc. In the field of marketing, risks may occur on account of price fluctuations, change in tastes and fashions, errors in sale forecasting, trade cycles, etc. Besides, there may be loss of assets of a firm due to fire, flood, earthquake, riots, war, or political unrest, which may cause unwanted interruptions in business operations. Thus, business risks may take place in a variety of forms. Though risks are universal, all business enterprises do not face the same type and degree of risks. They may vary according to the nature and size of a business.
Uncle, tell me more.
Business risks are of a diverse nature and arise due to innumerable factors. These risks may be broadly classified into two types, depending upon their place of origin: internal risks, external risks. Internal risks are those risks which arise from the events taking place within the business enterprise. Such risks arise during the ordinary course of a business. These risks can be forecasted and the probability of their occurrence can be determined. Hence, they can be controlled by the entrepreneur to an appreciable extent. Human factor. This is one of the most important causes of internal risk. It may arise due to various reasons. Besides, non-fulfillment of commitment, be it supply of goods or finance, also poses an important internal risk. Technological factor. Unable to upgrade to a new technology with the passage of time, also poses a serious internal risk, as the product may not be able to face competition from the ever-changing market situation. Physical factors. These are the factors which result in loss or damage to the property of the firm. External risks. External risks are those risks which arise due to the events occurring outside the business organization. Such events are generally beyond the control of an entrepreneur. Hence, the resulting risks cannot be forecasted, and the probability of their occurrence cannot be determined with accuracy. There are various factors that give rise to external risks. Let us go through some of them. Economic factors. These risks are generally less predictable because they do not appear at regular intervals. Also, such risks may not necessarily result in losses to the firm because they may also contain an element of gain for the firm. Due to market fluctuations, a well-known product of a firm may either lose its demand or may occupy a larger market share. Economic factors. Such risks which are caused by changes in the economy are known as dynamic risks. Natural factors. Natural factors are the unforeseen natural calamities over which an entrepreneur has very little or no control. For example, earthquake in Gujarat caused irreparable damage not only to the business enterprises but also adversely affected the economy of the entire state. Political factors. Change in political scenario in a nation or even in neighboring countries poses a serious risk to business due to the fact that we are part of the global economy. Risks in any business are inevitable and they cannot be eliminated completely. But an entrepreneur can control and minimize their negative consequences by adopting a suitable risk management strategy, such as scientific forecasting and marketing research of future economic conditions, continuous technological research, credit screening and control through careful screening of the customers. Implementing various safety programs. Hedging, underwriting, taking an insurance cover. We have already discussed various types of business risk as well as the methods of handling the same. Having known this, we can conclude that business risks arise due to uncertainty. Risk is an essential part of every business. Degree of risk depends mainly upon the nature and size of business. Profit is the reward for risk-taking. No risk, no gain is an age-old principle which applies to all types of businesses. Greater the risk involved in a business, greater the chance of profit. Profit is thus the reward for risk-taking.
Wow, Uncle! You are my guru. But tell me, what factors should I consider before starting a business?
Hey Rohan, why didn't you ask me? After all, even I am a businessman.
Why don't you tell him?
Important factors to be considered while starting a business. Knowledge and expertise. The owner needs to be aware about the business he intends to start. Knowledge and expertise about the product or service are keys to a successful business. When you ask yourself a question, what business am I planning to start? You need to get a convincing reply about what you intend to do and how you are going to go about it. Market demand. Once a decision is taken on the business to be started, the next step is to explore the demand or market for the product or service. Certain products will only have a domestic market for them, whereas others can be successful on an international level. The key question is, who are my customers? A market survey can be conducted to identify the market for the business to be started. Size and choice of ownership. Depending on the scale of operations, the entrepreneur may decide on a large size or small size business. If demand for the product is good, he may start the business on a large scale. If market conditions are uncertain and the risks are high, the entrepreneur may decide to start the business on a smaller scale. Finance. After identifying the initial costs required for starting the business, the financing pattern will need to be decided. Financing is concerned with providing the necessary capital for starting as well as for continuing the proposed business. Capital is required for investment in fixed assets like land, building, machinery, and equipment, and in current assets like raw materials, book debts, stock of finished goods, etc. Proper financial planning must be done to determine the requirement of capital, source from which capital will be raised, the best ways of utilizing the capital in the firm. Competition. Before entering new business, information about market competition needs to be found out. The success of the business will depend upon the demand and supply gap. The question which needs to be answered is, what is unique about the product or service which will be offered to survive the market competition? Information such as who are the competitors, what is their market strategy, and what factors are required to compete with them are important. Deciding an optimum location for the business is a strategic and an important one. Depending upon the nature of the business, location of the business needs to be ascertained. Availability of raw materials, cost of procuring the same, availability of manpower, infrastructural facilities, and incentives from the government are some of the crucial factors which need to be looked into to get the best location advantage. For instance, SEEPS, Santa Cruz Electronics Export Processing Zone, SEEPS, is subject to liberal economic laws as compared to the rest of India to promote rapid economic growth using tax and business incentives and attract foreign investment and technology. Manpower. Any business requires efficient manpower to succeed. The staff needs to be carefully chosen since they are the ones who could make or break the business. Besides, retaining manpower is the greatest challenge to management. As N.R. Nayaranamurthy, the founder and chairman of Infosys Technologies, had once said, "Our assets walk out of the door each evening. We have to make sure that they come back the next morning." Technology. A newly set up business house has an advantage of latest technology available at its disposal than its counterpart. The term technology would include plant and machinery as well as office equipments. It is absolutely necessary to draw a proper plan for maximum optimization of available technology. Unplanned expenditure in the name of technology should be avoided. Return on investment (ROI). Return on investment (ROI) is calculated as net profit divided by the investment made. The ROI is low in the initial years and is expected to grow on a year-on-year basis. The ROI needs to be compared with the return that would be earned from alternative business options available. For instance, It could be compared with any other source of income, such as money earned from investment in the stock market. Similarly, the return on capital must be greater than the rate of interest earned from a fixed deposit kept with a bank. Laws and regulations. Setting up a new business would require compliance with various laws and regulations. Further details need to be provided regarding the workforce, and certain deductions may be required from the staff, such as Provident Fund, which would need to be deposited with the respected government bodies. Non-compliance with the statute could lead to huge fines and penalty and hamper the success of a new business. The founder of the business has to consider in advance the tax liability under various tax laws and its impact on business decisions.
Thank you, Uncle. Had I come to you earlier, I would have saved myself a lot of grief.
It's never too late, my boy.
You know so much, Uncle.
Knowledge belongs to everybody, son. Had you gone to a consultant, he would have charged you twice as much for half the information.